I want to thank you very much for tuning in today's episode. If you haven't, please don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, helping me in supporting the channel. I can't thank you enough for that. And new subscribers, don't forget to hit notifications on so you get notified when those new videos drop. Also, be sure to check out the Discord. I'll have a link in the description below. Right now, I'm doing a poll on my next ship build. So once you join the Discord, click on Next Build Poll. So this way you can get involved in what my next ship build is going to be. Also, I want to talk about this before we get started in today's episode. This is another reason to join the Discord. This Saturday, April the 9th, at 4 p.m. Eastern, I'm going to be doing a watch party for Star Trek the Motion Picture in 4K. I know a lot of you are probably like, well, I've seen Star Trek the Motion Picture. Well, you haven't seen it like this. They've completely remastered the movie. It looks 1,000 times better than the 2001 remaster with the enhanced CGI. I'm truly impressed with the update that they made to the cut of the film, so much that I want to experience this with everybody in the community. So definitely drop by the Discord. We're going to be watching this thing. It'll be this Saturday, April the 9th at 4 p.m. Eastern. I hope to see you there. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and jump right in today's episode. We've got about a 25-minute episode, and we're really going to be focusing on getting some exterior ship details in today. We're going to be focusing on our escape pods. And we're going to be doubling down, and we're going to be doing the escape pods for the upper side of the hull as well as the lower side of the hull. And I'm going to be cheating my butt off to do this. And I'll show you how, because basically what we're going to end up doing is that the placement of my escape pods for the upper side, what I'm adding with this row here, we're going to be adding them exactly in the same spot on the underside of the saucer. This isn't necessarily a way you have to do it. If you wanted to individually place them on the underside, you can definitely do that, but I thought that it was worth showing this just to help you save a little bit of time. Because this can be a tedious process in adding in all these escape pods. And it's crazy because it's not going to feel like we've gotten that much done by the end of today's episode, but we really will, because the escape pods, while it's a minor detail, it's still a very important detail on the Enterprise D. And it's just one of those things, attention to detail. Looking at, taking the time to observe the ship or build that you're working on, and trying to take all those little details and incorporating it into your build, because all those little details are what's going to help bring your ship to life and make it feel more like it should look. So far we're looking pretty good. We already have a lot of these escape pods in, but the Enterprise D had quite a few of them. So that's why we're just going in. We're doing another wave of them, adding in where I feel like we need to add them in. My main rule that I'm going off of here is trying to go with the cut line and not have them directly on each other and having a space in between them. That's another big thing too. Really, the best way to do this is just add a little bit at a time, see how it looks. If you like it enough on one side and it's supposed to be the way on the other side, go over and do it on the other side too before you move on. This way, you're a lot less likely to make a mistake, and your build will come out that much better. Because even if you do that, you can still easily make a mistake. It can still happen. Really, my main goal here is connecting these sides. The right side to the back rear left side, or the back rear right side, I mean. Getting those two rows connected and doing it in a way that it doesn't look odd. I was going to stop it there to point out one of the placements for one of these, it's like this on this side too, so I'll just spot it out over here. I'm not going to lie. This second row right here, I'm not overly fond of it. I don't know why, it just kind of looks weird. I think what I could have maybe have done to fix this, rather than doing this row right here, start it right here and here. This way it's not so close to each other and it doesn't look, I don't know why, it just looks weird to me where it's at right there. Could have probably spaced it out just a little bit better. But it's really not that big of a deal. That's just something that like kind of sticks out to me. I don't know why. But I think it's too close and the angle of it just doesn't look right to me. Right along here, this is a good opportunity to do a couple of singles. Because of the placement of the blocks, it pretty much demands it. That one block right there is kind of sticking out. I'm not overly fond of that. Might have to make an adjustment to that, but for right now, let's just move on. Now, because that's something else I'm trying to factor into that, you know, I'm very well aware that we're on episode 128, so I'm really, if I can help it, I'm trying to restrain myself from making significant changes to the build at this point, unless I deem it absolutely necessary. Like in yesterday's episode where we reworked the ceiling for the straightaway corridors. Um, that was just something that I decided to do fairly late, but it's not necessarily something that you have to do. But you know, point is that I'm really being conscious about it. That I'm just trying to get this thing done without spinning my wheels too much and revisiting things. Because we really are, we're the closest we've ever been to the Enterprise D being completed. Yeah, that first block right there, right here, this one, is just standing out. We need to get rid of that. That looks so much better like that. This is one of the things that I mean, that why it's important after you do something, fly around that area, check it out, see how it looks, see how you feel on it, let it marinate for a little bit. Your gut reaction is usually the right one. What I've found anyway when I'm building. When I see something that stands out to me, 9 times out of 10, I'm probably going to come back and correct it because it's just going to keep bothering me until I fix it. And the best way to determine that those things is just by observing your ship and observing the changes that you've made. That looks pretty good. And I like that we made the escape pod single blocks. Originally, it was going to be 4. I think if I went 4, they would have been way too big. The scale of my ship, it would have been impossible to have it 2. So really, I was down to 1, either 1 or it was going to be 4. But I think that having them being a single, it helps it out quite a bit, I think, because again, this is just one of the other things that it helps make the ship feel just a little bit bigger than it currently is. Now, the real pain in the butt, which isn't necessarily going to be a huge pain in the butt, is when we go to transfer all these escape pods down to the lower hull. But I've got a method to do that in which it won't really be that much of a chore. See, I almost went on the wrong row. That's why you need to always double check your work. Yeah, see, that's looking fantastic. No, it's just one of those things too. I wasn't even sure how this build was going to come out, but I think the saucer is one of my favorite parts on the ship. That came out probably one of the best areas on the exterior of it so far. I mean, the whole ship looks great. It really does. But I think I really nailed the saucer. Other than the underside, I probably was a little bit too lazy with the underside curve. I probably should have used the pixel circle generator a little bit more than what I did. If I had done that, I think the underside oval would have been looking just a little bit better than it does, but it doesn't look bad, and I can live with it. So what we're going to be doing right now, now we're going to be transferring all these blocks we added to the underside. And to make things easy on me, rather than going crazy trying to figure out the placement, I'm just going to delete the block, go straight down, and delete the floor below it. This way I can come back and I can fill that in with the white terracotta. And you're probably thinking, oh, you won't be able to see it once you add it in. I've got a way to get around that. We're going to be using a combination of half slabs and sea lanterns on the underside to make sure that our escape pods on the underside of the saucer do stand out and you can still see them. Yeah, no, this kind of hit me when I was working on it, because I knew that I was going to want to add the escape pods on the underside. And I was just trying to think of like, what's the easiest way I could do this without driving myself crazy with the placement? And then it just dawned on me, well, you know, I really haven't filled in any of these areas on the saucer. It would be relatively easy just to delete that block and go straight down and delete the block underneath it. That's why it's important to work smarter, not harder on Minecraft. If you can find a little trick to get you around it to make life a little bit easier, do it. Because there's really no point in going through the exercise of trying to figure out the placement on the underside when you can just complete the step that I'm doing right now and it's perfect. And see, this is just a little proof of concept, just to throw it in. But again, the main problem that we're going to have is that we're doing all this work to add it in on the underside, but now once we close in that block, you won't be able to see the white terracotta. So it's almost for naught. But the easiest way around that is we'll just have to design some half slabs going around that white terracotta and then using some sea lanterns this way to light it up. But I will show you how to do that. I want to talk about a lot of cool stuff coming on the YouTube channel and my Discord in the future. You know, we've got the watch party coming up this Saturday. I'm really looking forward to that. And we've also my next ship build poll is going on right now. If you haven't participated in that and you'd like to have your voice heard, be sure to check that out, because that poll is only going to be running as long as I'm physically building the Enterprise D. The day I'm done building it, not counting the tutorial, just me building it, the day that's done, I'm closing out the poll, and I'll probably end up start working on that build, if not right away when I'm done with the Enterprise D. I might end up taking like a week or two off just to recharge. We'll see. Yeah, that'll be the next one, and then after that, I'm probably going to be doing the Excelsior from Star Trek Picard Season 2. I don't know, I just saw that ship and I thought it looked really cool, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And then, you know, further down the road, we've got the Star Trek Beyond Enterprise A 1.1 refit tutorial that I'll be doing, but I want to wait till I hit 1,000 subscribers to do that tutorial. I talked a little bit about it in my last episode, but you know, there's a reason why I want to hit 1,000 subscribers. There's just things that I'll be able to do with the channel that I currently don't have access to do, namely streaming and doing live streams. This is something that I really want to do because I'm really trying to get to a point of having a much better connection with the community. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing the Discord. This is one of the reasons why I'm doing the watch party, because I want to be more involved with the community of people that I interact with on a daily basis on my YouTube channel. And I think having a live stream will make things a lot easier to obtain that. And also I'll be able to do subscriptions and all sorts of stuff on the YouTube channel that I don't have access to. But I don't know, we'll see. I'm not in a rush to make 1,000 subscribers happen, but you know, this is something that it's important to have goals, and the Enterprise A refit is a build that I've had people asking me for ever since I did that Star Trek Beyond Enterprise A refit. People have wanted to see a tutorial of that ship, and this will be a fairly close version of it, but I honestly think it's going to be a better one, because I never like to just repeat the same build twice, just for um, the purposes of fun, I guess. There's probably a better way I could have described that, but just, yeah, just having fun with the build. I mean, that's such a huge part for me when I make these ships. This is why you don't see me, if I do a similar ship again, like in the case of a Constitution class. I've done two versions of the Constitution class, but I've built them completely differently. And that's something that will always be a thing on my channel. You'll never see me do the same thing twice. I'll always figure out a way to do a different spin on it, and this will just be for my own fun with it, because what's the point of just rebuilding it again if I've already done that? So that's why I kind of like always try to do something new with it, you know. But no, the Enterprise A 1.1 is going to be a really fun tutorial. If you're on my YouTube channel, I put a video up on that. I had a couple of pieces of concept art that I put together, but really where you want to be is on the Discord, because I have a tab, Enterprise A 1.1, and I've got a bunch of more screenshots of concept art that I've made for that ship, and I've even hired a 3D artist to build out that ship for me, so I can eventually get it printed. But that 3D rendering will be vital to the build, because one of the things that I do when I make my ships, you guys know, I do two main things. I get a bunch of screenshots, and then I grab a 3D model if I can help it, or a physical model, one or the other. But it usually ends up being a 3D model, just so I don't have to end up going out and spending money just to start the project. But no, having that 3D model will make it a heck of a lot easier to build out the ship. Not like it's going to be super hard, but this ship is going to have some curves on it and lines that is going to make it feel more like the traditional Enterprise A, which is one of the things I'm mostly excited about, because if I was going to go back and revisit this ship, again, I didn't want to build the exact same thing that I had done in the past. And that's something that always kind of stuck with me, that even my version of the Enterprise A from Star Trek Beyond, it didn't feel enough like the Enterprise A to me. It still felt like the TOS Enterprise with having the front straight pylons. That's something that always kind of bugged me. So that's one of the main reasons for slightly redesigning it a little bit more. But I'm trying to do it in a way that it doesn't feel like a brand new ship. I tried my best to make it feel like it was a refit. Whether I achieved that or not, I don't know. You guys will have to let me know. But I'm still fairly excited about this build. I can't stop talking about it, and I probably won't be able to stop talking about it until that tutorial series comes out. So if you're excited about that, and that's something that you want to see, if you can help me out, share my videos, get some of your friends to join the channel, because that tutorial series won't happen until we hit 1,000. Alright, we are looking pretty good so far. Now you can see I just did the lowest row, adding it on the underside of the saucer. I didn't add any of the upper rows. And I think that's probably how it's going to be on the underside of the saucer. I'm not going to have nearly as many escape pods on the underside. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of made that decision. I think that'll end up looking a little bit better. My cat's driving me crazy in the background. He keeps distracting me. He's spinning a ball around. But no, we're looking pretty good here. I'm not sure how long the Enterprise D is going to take me to finish this thing, but we still have a fair amount of content to go through before we can call this thing done. And I've been saying, because I've been taking a short break from Minecraft just to recharge, because I've been basically working on this ship for a year. I still have a couple of things left to do on the interior. I've got to finish working on the crew quarters. I've got to build out the medical deck slash science deck, um, which the corridors and everything are already done. It's just a matter of building out the rooms. And then after that, I just have to do the back end of the lower hull and then the registration. And then this thing is done. But there's still quite a few things that you're pretty far behind me, because you got to realize that I started working on this ship in February of last year, and I didn't even start putting out the tutorials until May. So I had like a good 2 months. Um, actually, yeah, about 2 3 months where, that's how far I'm ahead of you guys on the current build. But you're slowly catching up to me because, like I said, I've been taking a short break from it. But it won't get to that point where you guys are caught up and I'm still working on it. I did this for a reason so that I could take breaks and still also have the content to put out every week. Now, I'm not going to, all those blocks that we deleted on the underside of the saucer, I'm not going to go in and fill all those in live. I don't think there's really a need to do that. But I wanted to go in again and show you guys the placement of it so that you can have that same thing going. But I don't think that there's really a need to show all that. So that's why I just kind of skipped over it. Now we're in our straightaway portion of our corridor on our main deck. And I talked about this before, that we were going to be adding in the double turbo lifts. But if I'm not mistaken, this one right here, pretty sure that's going to end up being the transporter room. I think this will be the only one that we don't have a double, because, yeah, if I remember correctly, this cut here ended up being the transporter room. We're just doing our doorways, getting that established. That looks pretty good. And this is the thing too. Even if we end up closing this entryway point off, and there's going to be a doorway here, it's fairly important to actually build out that doorway. Just again for consistency purposes, want to make sure that everything's matching up on your ship. Yeah, see, that looks pretty good. The transporter room was a fun area to build. But even that, I think before this thing is done, I might end up doing just one more pass over it to slightly adjust the color and what I had done, just to make it look a little bit more accurate with the build itself. Or not accurate with the build itself, but accurate with how it looked on the show. But we're getting there, just one episode at a time. Whatever it takes, that's what it takes. I'm good with it at this point. Like I said, it's not something that I necessarily wanted, because I did not intend to be working on this thing for a year. I really didn't. But it's just one of those things, like, I put this much work into it, I can't just walk away from it. I have to see this thing through. I really do. I could have edited that last part out a little bit better. Apologize for that, because usually I've been spot on with my edits. You guys don't see the transitions, and you've seen it there, but that will be a rarity. I've been pretty good about it, but it happens. Because the way I've been doing it lately, I've been in a routine where what I'll do to save myself time, because I've been trying to make it at a point where I'm not putting in a considerable amount of hours on the YouTube channel just to keep it going. So I've been trying to figure out a way to work smarter with it and not harder. So what I'll do is I've got my whole routine in place where basically during the week while I'm working, I'll start editing my videos together so that this way on Saturday and Sunday I can record my videos for the week. I'll do 2 on Saturday and then I'll do 2 on Sunday. That's why if you get the notifications on my YouTube channel or my Discord, you've probably been noticing lately that I'll upload 2 on Saturday and 2 on Sunday. And I do it this way just so I don't have to commit my whole day basically to uploading videos, because it doesn't seem like that much, but when you're putting out 4 videos a week, even where I had it where I was editing them beforehand and still recording them, like before I was recording all my videos on Sundays, and I'd start in the morning and I'd be done recording them in the morning, but well, actually early afternoon I'd be done recording them, and then by the time it was about almost time for me to go to bed, would just be done with doing the final edit on them and then uploading them to the YouTube channel. And that got to a point where I was like, okay, like this isn't going to work. I don't want to spend my whole Sunday uploading videos and doing my last edits on them. So this is really the way to go, because even where it's at for me right now, it's 12 noon and I'm almost done with my last episode. We're down to the last 30 seconds. I'll probably have about a half hour of editing that I'll have to do. And then after that, I just have to upload them and I'll be done. It'll probably be done by 1:30, which will be significantly reduced to what I had before. No, I definitely hope everybody's been enjoying the YouTube channel so far. I've actually been getting a lot of positive feedback from people. You guys have actually been getting the same thing out of my YouTube that I've actually been getting out of it, and that's just something to take my mind off all this craziness that's going on in the world. So if you have been enjoying it, let me know in the comments section. If there's any builds you want to see me do, I don't really get a chance to mention that too much lately. I always forget. But if there's any builds that you want to see me do, be sure to drop a comment in the Discord channel under next build suggestion. It's under build suggestions. Definitely check that out. I go off the popular requests and I'll make polls in the future. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap us up today. I just want to thank everybody again for tuning in today's episode, and I hope everybody has a happy and safe weekend. I'll catch you in the next episode. And of course, what did you make in Minecraft today? Let me know in the comments section.